The little girl pulled out the only $10 she had left on her. She begged the CEO before her to be her father for 3 days. The CEO was very surprised to hear it. The little girl explained that her parent-teacher conference was coming up soon. If the teacher and classmates found out she had no father, everyone would surely mock her. The CEO was so busy every day he was overwhelmed. He had no time to pay attention to this stranger girl. The little girl knelt before the CEO in tears, pleading with him to help her. This gesture drew discontent from the onlookers, who angrily accused the CEO of being an irresponsible father. With no choice, the CEO had to agree to the girl's request. He then followed the girl back to her home. The tiny house was filled with empty bottles. The CEO didn't understand how someone could live in such an environment. It wasn't until he heard the girl speak that he realized these empty bottles were collected by her to sell for money. With that money, she could have enough to eat. The CEO had never experienced hunger, so he had no idea how hard life was for the girl. When he asked where the girl's parents were, her grandmother in the room said the girl was an orphan. The grandmother, unable to walk well, had been bedridden for years. The girl had been found by the grandmother 6 years ago by the river. At that moment, the girl brought a clean quilt and asked the CEO to stay the night. Looking at the longing look in her eyes, the CEO silently nodded. Then he lay down alone on the bed. Next, the girl spread the quilt and slept beside the CEO, thoughtfully covering him with the quilt. She then carefully slipped out. The CEO suddenly had a nightmare, dreaming again of his daughter's past kidnapping. Startled awake, he went outside the door. Seeing the girl sitting at the gate with her face in her hands, the CEO thought she was going to sleep outside, not realizing the girl still had things to do. The alarm clock suddenly rang. Hearing the sudden ringing of the alarm clock, the girl immediately ran outside. It turned out that at this time each day she would go out to collect bottles. Seeing her pitiful state, the CEO agreed to be her father for 3 days. The girl smiled happily. Then the CEO ordered a portion of grilled meat. The girl assumed it must be expensive, and to save money for the CEO, she lied that she didn't like grilled meat. Only after the CEO urged her did she take a bite. She then took all the leftover meat back home to her grandmother. The grandmother, looking at the well-behaved and sensible girl, tasted one bite with satisfaction. Then she lied, saying she had a toothache, leaving the rest for the girl. The girl turned around and handed the skewers to the CEO. Moved by this scene, the CEO quietly turned and left, returning to bed to sleep. At that moment, the CEO may have remembered his lost daughter. He couldn't help but turn over and gently cover the girl with the quilt. The next morning, he saw the girl sleeping at the gate, shivering from the cold. It turned out the girl did not want to disturb the CEO's rest, so she had gone outside. The CEO, furious, scolded the girl. Seeing the girl's wronged expression, the CEO realized he had spoken too harshly. At that moment, the girl picked up her backpack from the ground and prepared to go to school. After the girl left for school, the grandmother took out all her savings, hoping the CEO would take care of this poor child. After saying this, the grandmother died in front of the CEO. The CEO called his assistant to send someone to handle the grandmother's body. When the girl returned from school, she found her grandmother was gone from the bed. The CEO lied that the grandmother was ill and had to be treated at a hospital in the provincial capital, claiming he would come back to visit her when the girl scored 100 on her exam.